How we doing, guys? We're back for another beer review. This is a fairly well-reviewed beer at this point, and fairly well-received one too. A little bit of an asterisk on that, but this is an IPA from Stone Brewing. It's one of their collaboration beers. This is the R&R Coconut IPA, involving Stone, Rip Current, and Robert Masterson and one Ryan Rashawn. If that name sounds familiar, that is indeed Ryan Rashawn Stumpy Joe Jr. on YouTube. Very nice guy, excellent beer tuber. Does a lot of home brewing. He writes about beer in a local magazine of some sort where he lives out in California. And so basically, what it was is Stone had this American Homebrewers Association contest for 2013. Robert and Ryan put their beer in, which was a coconut IPA, and what they intended to make was basically an IPA that was also sort of like a pina colada almost in beer form. Okay, so they won, and so they got the chance to make the beer. Stone mass produced it for them with some changes. So this is basically a West Coast IPA. It's got 280 pounds, I think, of coconut was added to it. It is 7.7% alcohol by volume and 90 IBUs, so it's a big baby. It's a very big baby. What else? Do I really want to read all this shit on the back? I don't think I do. Honestly, I'm getting a little tired of Greg Cook and his hype machine. Kind of irks me at this point. But anyway, there's some stuff here. There's some notes. One from Ryan on here. And by the way, congratulations again to Ryan. Everyone said it by now, but it bears repeating because he just won another homebrew contest for another IPA that he made. So fucking awesome, dude. I said on the nose, you'll get a lot of stone fruit, apricot, peach. Okay, I don't want to read that actually. I don't want tasting notes. Yeah. So of course, Stone out of Escondido, San Diego, and we're gonna get right into it. The interesting about this is that this is past its best before date. Its best before date was the 10th of this month, and we're on the 11th. So this might have the distinction of being the oldest bottle reviewed for this. Anyway, for now, anyway, on YouTube. And the cool thing about that I knew that was going to be the case, that I was going to get this a bit late and tried a bit late, is that it seems that as the reviews went on, and I should just preface this by saying just about everyone who reviewed this said there's basically no coconut in this beer that you can really detect. Okay, and as the reviews went on, as there was older bottles getting reviewed, it seems like more coconut was creeping out, and I actually kind of expected that because from what people were saying, this is a very hoppy beer, and as the hops die down, you're going to get maybe more of the coconut coming up. So, I'm going on 4 minutes here now. We're going to open this up and see what we think. It says on this cap, Stone's beers have been ranked among the best in the world and even best in the country and even the world. Yeah, great, thanks. Didn't know that. All right. So big thanks to Average Joe for getting this to me, by the way. He said he just sort of surprised me right out of the gate one time, saying I could probably get you one of those, and I was like, yeah, fucking awesome. I'd love to get one of these. I don't want to be the only beer tuber who doesn't review it, or pretty much the only beer tuber who doesn't get a chance to review it. So, be really cool to be able to actually try the original homebrew too. You'll see some beer tubers have actually had the original homebrew and compared it with this. So very awesome. So she's a little bit lighter in color than some IPAs out there. It's definitely unfiltered. I'd say that's more of a golden straw color approaching amber in the parts where it's you can definitely see the particulates going in there. It's getting all hazy. Or is that just chill haze? It's definitely some little floaters in there, but they're very small. All right, so we got about a finger of head there. Go right to the aroma. Cheers. Okay, so it's very nice, smooth aroma. It's of course at this point the hops have definitely faded some, I imagine. So I'm getting a little bit of grapefruit. I'm getting like apricot, um, sort of like tangerines on that side of the fence. It's kind of a tropically kind of thing. A little bit of mango, and I'm getting a little bit of the coconut, just a toasty coconut thing in the background. Kind of reminds me of like coconut water or something along those lines. If you smell like a can of that, definitely getting that little bit of coconut sweetness, toastiness. Definitely smells pretty good. And it definitely smells a little bit different than some of the big tropical hop bombs you'll sometimes get in IPAs like this. Like the little bit of coconut in the end, um, and I can see why people didn't smell the coconut in really fresh bottles. I think it fared better on tap. I think you get coconut pretty good on tap, but um, just a fresh bottling of this, yeah, the hops would have just crushed the coconut. The coconut just seems so minute in this. All right, cheers. We'll go right to the taste. It's still quite hoppy, quite powerful. 90 IBUs, kind of expect it. Mm. But man, there's a medium to approaching like full body character to this, and I'm getting the fruits. I'm getting a little bit of like this citric quality, mango, grapefruit, sort of bitterness, very upfront on the tongue. I'm getting this malty character all around. Um, the big thing about this, and this is something a lot of people haven't seemed to mention in the reviews, and it was something Average Joe actually brought up to me that he wanted me to comment on if I actually found this to be the case. Um, that the coconut seems to have made the body of this very creamy and smooth. And I imagine that must be what is making it like this because it is very creamy and smooth. Like definitely a different mouthfeel than you'll get from almost any IPA out there that you try. And the finish, I'm getting the coconut. The coconut comes out in the finish. That toasty coconut in the back sort of resonates up, getting maybe a little bit of sweetness out of it as well. That's where the coconut water kind of thing comes in again. That's really good. It's really good. It's not one of these IPAs where there's like a lot of big amazing stuff bashing you over the head. It's got a nice complexity to it, but at the same time it's very drinkable, not as, mind blowing like knock you around kind of thing. which is pretty commendable. I mean, it's a big beer, and but for it to be just that solid and easy drinking is really really good. I actually like that a lot. I mean, I'm sucking this down really quick. Um, it's very very drinkable, even though the bitterness is pretty big. But that mouthfeel, man, it's that mouthfeel. What the coconut has done to the mouthfeel of this beer makes it more drinkable than if it had just been a standard IPA with no coconut in it. So, although it's still kind of false advertising to call it a coconut IPA, they should have just called it R&R West Coast IPA or something. Well, maybe not something that simple and lame, but to call it a coconut IPA is probably doing this beer a disservice. Uh, it's probably it ramped up expectations from people. I've seen people, some fucking assholes out there, uh, who are big enough fucking snobbish hipster bitches, be quite frank, who are saying things like drain pour, no coconut. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? This is still an excellent fucking IPA, and the idea that someone would get this and then drain pour it just because they couldn't taste the coconut is fucking insane. Um, Really, really ridiculous. Those are the sort of people who should not be into craft beer, quite honestly. Um, Now, that being said, this really isn't Ryan and Robert's beer. I've seen this brought up as well. In a way, it's really not their beer. It's a collaboration with Stone and Rip Current. It's based off their homebrew, but really this is not the homebrew they made. Every indication I've seen suggests that, even from Ryan himself, saying basically this is different. It was brewed with some different hops, done on a larger scale. There's going to be some changes. There's going to be some differences. I've seen some people suggest that Ryan should have fought to have this beer be more on in line with what he originally came up with. I could see where someone's coming from saying that, but they have to keep in mind that Ryan was only one part of the equation here. Robert also has a say in that, and also there's the fact that fuck, Stone's making our beer or something like our beer, and that's fucking awesome. And Ryan and Robert got to be there the whole time with the process, got valuable experience making the beer. It's a fucking dream come true, really, isn't it? I mean, it's fucking awesome. And I don't think either one of those guys would trade it for the world just because this beer doesn't quite match up to their real coconut IPA that they made for the homebrew competition. So, congratulations to Robert and Ryan. I don't know Robert, but congratulations anyway. I mean, it is kind of a shame that maybe your actual beer didn't get out to people in a mass audience, but honestly, this is a nice first step for the eventual point in your lives where your beers do go out to people on a mass scale, and they end up being the beers that you made specifically how you want them done. I mean, honestly, that's what I see and happening. I can't see Ryan not getting into like professional brewing at some point. I mean, it just seems like it's a match made in heaven, destiny kind of thing, right? And it's really, really cool. This is an excellent IPA. Forget about the coconut shit. I mean, honestly, the coconut at this point, this old, the coconut is there. You can taste it, you can smell it. It affects the mouthfeel of the beer. Unfortunately, it took this long for the coconut to actually come out, past the actual best before date. But fuck it, it's still a really good beer, and that's all that really counts. I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5. It's really solid, excellent IPA, and they did a really good job on it. I mean, it's Stone. I didn't expect them to fuck it up that bad. And cheers, guys. 4 out of 5. R&R Coconut IPA. again, congratulations to Ryan. Um, Definitely nothing to nothing to be ashamed of, definitely, and I doubt he is, because that's really really cool. And the detractors out there can suck my left nut. As far as I'm concerned, it's an excellent beer. They're bitching about little specifics, little splitting hairs on little specific bullshit points, and that have more to do with how Stone treated this beer, not to do with Ryan or anything like that. So, all right, guys, we'll see you later.